Hi, this is Catherine Dubberly, the Answer Lady. I'm still working on painted projects on my knitwear, and I have discovered a need for a specific rubber stamp that I didn't find at a craft store. So I've worked out a way to create my own. Now we're going to use this to stamp on fabric, but there is nothing to stop you from using this rubber stamp for any occasion that you might need one. Have a look at how it works. It's really easy. I want to make some specific rubber stamps to use to decorate the faux scarf that I have put around the neck of a sweater I showed you in the video about using contact paper for bleach. And I have an idea. This is how some of my rubber stamps came. And I usually trim some of this background off, especially if I'm working in a tight place, because I'm afraid it will accidentally pick up some ink or paint and transfer it where I don't want it. These are simply stamps. These are the ones that come that way. So I have this trimmed stuff, and I think it is pretty much the same thing as rubber stamping material, and that if I make a couple of shapes, I can then glue them to some of the same material as a background and have a stamp I can work with. So we'll see how that goes. I would like to have a diamond and a little curly Q. Sort of like a paisley. Because to my mind these will make good decorations on my scarf that looks scarf-like. Maybe this is sort of like a comma too. An X-Acto knife is most likely going to produce a smoother, more perfect stamp. But I think I can live with what this is doing. Remember, it doesn't matter what the sides look like, because only one face is going to pick up paint or ink. And we could not make very detailed shapes like this, but that's okay. We don't want to use real detailed shapes. Alright. The only reason that I need a base to glue the stamp to is to have something to hold on to. This, to me, will be an easier movement than this, because my fingers might get into the act. These are the two I want, and I need one more piece of background, I guess. Might as well trim it off this. For the same reason as I trim these stamps to start with, you don't want your background to be any bigger than it needs to be, so that it doesn't get tempted to pick up ink or paint and put it where you don't want it. Now I just need to glue my newly created shapes to their backing. I'm going to pick the nicest edge to leave out. I'm using super glue here because I have it handy, but I'm pretty sure that any glue that will withstand the moisture that we will expose it to when we use paint would do fine. I don't think this is the thing to get real concerned about. There we go. I should probably trim that one a little bit more when it dries. It's usable as it is. But as soon as they do harden and my virtual scarf is ready, I can make these cute little designs on it in another color, or even two colors. It seemed to me like it might be a good idea to try them out on a piece of paper. Make sure they work as I want. And I think that's going to be just fine. The technique that you see me using, I'm coloring the stamp manually with a fabric marker, which is something that gives you a great deal of control. Yeah, I didn't darken it as much that time. You have to work very fast if you do this, because there's not really very much pigment on the stamp at any one point, but there's also not much to splash around. Let's see, let's put a few of these interspersed with each other. See if I get here's a nice thing. See, if I get an imperfect stamp, I can fix it with my marker. I could darken that one if I wanted. Well, I need to play around with the spacing, but I believe these will do just what I need done.